Hi, finance-savvy families, and today we'll discuss how to handle savings in your budget. In our Plussios system, we separate savings into three different categories. And those categories are future money, short-term savings, and long-term savings. Let's discuss what they are. For long-term savings, we consider money that you are not going to spend on living in about 3 months and more. In terms of the Plussios budget, it doesn't matter what you do with that money. Whether you invest them, deposit into a bank account, or just put in a jar under your pillow. You keep this money outside of your budget. Next, short-term savings. These are savings that you are likely to spend within a short period of time. These type of savings include emergency funds, your reserves for, say, food, well, again, kind of an emergency fund, and your savings for a purpose or a goal. For example, if you want to buy, let's say, a guitar, and you save money for that guitar, this money is considered short-term savings in our Plussios system. Next goes future money. And this is money that you already have, but you are not going to spend this month. Rather, you will spend that money in the next month or maybe a month after the next. So this is where that availability periods, or that plus 1 month and everything, kicks in. It's kind of when you're giving a head start for your budget, for your spendings, and this is where you live on the income that you got a month before. In your Plussios budget, future money and short-term savings stay inside the budget, and long-term savings goes outside of the budget. Now let's see how we can move our money from the available category into different types of savings. Remember, we inputted $3,000 of our income the last time, right? And we used that plus 1 month for that income because, well, we have reached the end of the month. But now we have changed our mind. We decided to move this money into savings. So we'll just adjust the budget to reflect our new way of life. First, we see that we have $2,000 available next month, but we want to use them now. So for that, we go to the transactions sheet, and to move money, we input current date and input basically any account. Let's keep the same one where we received the money. Specify available plus 1 month and subtract the amount that we want to move, and that will be $2,000. I would highly recommend to specify the comment. Otherwise, you would have hard time understanding why it was minus 2,000 when you actually don't see this operation on your bank statement. So, move money to the current month. Next, we use the same values, but here we set available this month. And exactly the same amount, but, well, now positive. I would suggest copy-pasting the same comment. Going back to the budget, we see that money becomes available this month. And yes, as we haven't assigned them, they continue to be available the following months, unless we assign them in any of the months before, which we will do. So let's start with the long-term savings. You do that on the assignments sheet, where You put the current date, basically. And what about the category? And here we need to add another category, more technical one, which is usually stays around 0. We go to categories and add long-term savings. Getting back to the assignments, we use long-term savings and $1,000. Let's check what we see on the budget sheet. Yeah, we have available 1,000 left, and in the long-term savings 1,000. So we have reserved this money for moving into investments, and when the time comes to actually move them into where you want, into a separate place, you just go into transactions and input exactly that. So you input the date, the account if you use Family Pro, and category would be long-term savings. Now it's $1,000 invested money. Well, you input where you invested that if you like. That's it. Now our budget forgot about that investments, and you track those long-term savings outside of this budget document. Next, let's consider short-term savings. For example, you want to build your emergency fund, and that's a good idea. So let's create a category exactly for that. You go to the categories and input a new category, emergency fund. Now back to the assignments and just simply assign money to that new category, emergency funds. Let's say we move $500 there. Yep, it's here and it is ready to be spent whenever you need this money. And that's great, because you now have another level of financial security. And as for the future money, we already did that before. Remember, when we said this available plus 1 month, we actually moved money $1,000 after our adjustments into the future month. And here in the assignments, when we assigned that $1,000 to kids, we actually used that future money from our budget. And that's it for using savings. And now it was quite a lot of information, and let's do a quick recap. You have 3 types of savings. First, future money. This money you got 1 month but spent the next month, or, well, the month after the next one. And this is your kind of money cushion. The second category is short-term savings. That category includes your emergency funds, your target funds, like for some purpose. So the money you want to spend within a short period of time. And this money stays in the budget. You create a category for each subtype of these short-term savings. And the last category, long-term savings. This category includes money that you are not going to spend within the following 3 months or more. Here goes investments and money that you put onto a bank account. To track this money, you use a different place, and they are going outside of your budget using a dedicated category and a transaction like an expense. And that's it for using savings in your budget. In the next video, we'll see how to adjust your budget when life doesn't go as planned. See you in the next video.